Hi everyone, it's Alvi here. This is the next 7 days reading. I'll probably say a week, so we'll get that. Anyway, for this week, so we have group one with the purple aura quartz and the card on the top of the pile. I'll just bring it up closer. There we go. And it says, I am whimsy, je suis fantasy. So, if that card, that crystal, or this pile takes your fancy or calls to you, then that might be the pile for you. I don't know why I'm moving that. Group two is the pink aura quartz. And the card is, what if I exist for optimism? Is divine timing optimism. So, if that pile, or that crystal, or that card, or that quote calls to you, rings in a bell, or it just feels like it's right for you, then that's your pile. Moving on to group three. So blue aura quartz for group three, and a card that says nouveau, luminous, feelings. I can't actually see what that says. Feeling fully alive. Feeling fully alive. All right, sorry. I've not got the card in the right spot, but there we go. Feeling fully alive, luminous, and nouveau. So if that card, that picture, this pile here, or this crystal, or just the whole thing kind of calls to you, that one's your pile as well. You can choose more than one pile. You can watch the whole thing and just take it as a giant reading for yourself. And I'm going to leave this here for a minute, and then I'm going to see you over in the readings. If you just choose one pile, then look in the description and I will have timestamps there so you can skip past the readings that aren't the ones that you chose. So I will see you there. Bye.
Hey group one, this is like take 300. I don't know why, but I always have trouble with group one for whatever reason. I need to record it a couple of times. So if you chose the purple or a quartz and you chose the card that says I am whimsy, so I'll try and get that centered, or whatever. I'm gonna mangle this, so apologies. Je suis fantasy says I am fantasy cleansed by the light of divine truth. There's like this little poem on here, and it says, or quote or something, kissed by the softness of eternal dreaming, she laid her mind to rest, calmly letting go of unknown ignorance through valor. So, sort of talking about, bravery, bravery over ignorance, unfurling into infinity through the adventure of heart-led whimsy. She rested beyond hunger, in love with impermanence. Courage led her actions to embody the will of love. So we're talking about being courageous enough to kind of indulge in your fantasies, indulge in like exploring yourself, exploring your mind, and whimsy, like, bringing whimsy into your life. So whimsy is, kind of like magic but unexpected things that are like delightful and wonderful, but they're also unexpected, or things you wouldn't really kind of expect to come into your life. I feel like there's like this really kind of sensual energy around this card as well, because we've got the moon and this girl sort of like lying naked. So I feel like it's sort of talking about, it says the root chakra. So feeling safe in like kind of indulging in what you like. Or maybe, communicating with other people about what you're into. This is, in my mind, this is turning into something quite sexual, but it doesn't have to be. I'm just, yeah, that's what I'm like. So, and it says, and the next card is, I agree to respect myself for what I am. So it's kind of talking about, like, there's parts of you that you kind of hide from the world that are like an intrinsic part of you, and you maybe you kind of feel ashamed of them. So it's saying respect yourself for what you are instead of what other people expect you to be. I feel like it's sort of talking about being courageous about it as well. So having the courage to be yourself, whatever that means for you, and however this lands for you, whether that be in a relationship and or at work or in life or however. I feel like this is something that's sort of coming up as a problem for you. Like, maybe you're just you're unique and you don't feel as comfortable with your uniqueness as you really could if you respected it instead of trying to push it down and pretend that you're not what you are. So I feel like if you respect yourself, like this self-respect is coming through as well. So and it will help you resolve the problem. I feel like this is talking about maybe for some of you, maybe you're in a newish relationship and you're not wanting to share. Maybe you've got some interesting fantasies or something, but you're kind of you're not what's the word, confident enough to share them with your partner. But it's kind of it's like you need to. And it doesn't necessarily have to be fantasies either. It could just be parts of yourself that you feel uncomfortable with. It could be, what makes you unique, but also because society is the way it is, and we're all kind of taught to be like these cookie cutter versions of each other rather than reveling in our uniqueness and reveling in our difference. You might have parts of you that feel very uncomfortable, and it's asking you just to accept yourself for where you are, because when you do that you actually open up this portal to be more of yourself, and the more yourself you are, the better it really is for you, because you realize that it was okay to be you the whole time anyway. That was a big channel, sorry guys. And then we've got current dreams and future realities, new beginnings. Okay, so I'm sort of picking up, as I said, everything I just said, but I feel like that you're wanting something new in your life. It's probably something you're dreaming about right now. You want to change, and this is the key to change, right? It's like, on one hand, it's sort of like exploring the fantasies that come to you, and it could be being fantasizing about being a millionaire, or going on a holiday and sitting on a tropical island, or all of those sorts of things. Whatever your thing is, whatever your desire is, whether that's love or money or career or however it hits for you, I feel like there's something that you feel is something that might push that away, or is stopping you from having what it is you're having your desires come to you in your life. But I'm here to tell you, my guides are giving me messages right now. They're saying, if you respect yourself for who you are, and you're courageous about being you, and whatever it is that you feel is like unacceptable or that you're hiding, the more you respect yourself for that, and the more that you're able to kind of be honest with other people about it, the quicker the problem will be resolved. And that way you can shift into this new reality. This is what's stopping you from shifting. Let's have a look at the tarot, and we will see what other messages you have. Big energy is coming through. That's why sighing. A totally different energy to the reading I was just doing, which was very calm and relaxing. This is kind of more like the energy that's coming through it's like it's all in my solar plexus. It's like that kind of gurgling stomach. Not like nervousness, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. And oh, there comes some cards. Yeah, so nervousness and just sort of like this a little bit of like breath holding. It's sort of like yeah, when you say something and you don't know how it's going to be received, that kind of feeling. Or a bit of maybe again social anxiety. I think I said that last week for one of the groups as well. So the cards that we have is the Five of Wands and the Three of Wands. So to me, this always kind of looks like it's like a bunch of people trying to kind of clamber to the top of something to get to this light, right? They all want it, and people are getting pushed out the way. It's sort of like you feel like you're in this fight right now. It's this like energy of having to fight for what you want, having to fight for what you desire. Um, Maybe just feeling like you have to kind of protect yourself in this environment of people fighting, backstabbing, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's not a nice energy that I'm picking up. So it might be like a workplace thing. It seems to be like a big group of people, and it's like maybe a family or something like that. But it's very much what I'm feeling, and I don't know why I'm getting it from this from this card. But this is yeah. So this is like this feeling that I'm getting. It's like if you don't do what we say you should do, if you don't conform to our beliefs or our ideas, then we'll kick you down to the bottom of the pile. Right? This is the energy that I'm feeling, and I'm not sure if it's like something that is coming through in you, or it's something that you experienced when you were younger and now you feel like every group situation is kind of like that. Look, sometimes it can be, and it could be a work situation or a friend situation or a family situation that you're currently going through, although I am getting past. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, it's sort of like this fight to be who you are. It's like you really have to push, yeah, to be able to get past this conditioning, past this idea that whatever it is about you that you think other people won't accept is actually who you truly are. It's like your superpower, in a way. But I feel like you're going to be the one on top, right? I feel like you're getting past this. I feel like you're kind of coming into this. It's when I agree to respect myself for what I am that's what that's what makes me be able to. My self-love grows stronger every day, and self-love really is the baseline in the way that we relate to other people and how we feel safe being ourselves. So I feel like this is sort of something you've been working on, you're mastering. You're understanding that not every situation is like this one. And that sometimes it's actually okay just to be yourself and to say what you think, or let out that part of you that you feel like people might reject you for having that part of you, or whoever you are, or whatever it is, right? Then we have the Three of Cups. So this is like a celebration. It's also talking about a group of friends, or people coming together. So it would be celebrating with friends or celebrating with family or something like that. Okay, so my guides just gave me this sort of image picture. It's like a party, a gathering, a family reunion or something like that perhaps, and that's what you're worried about. Like maybe this energy isn't so much something that you experience day to day anymore, but you're worried about this particular situation. This is just for some of you. Obviously you're worrying about how is my family going to deal with this particular thing that I am or that I do or whatever, and I can't really hide it from them anymore. But then there's, for the collective group, that message was just, for whoever it resonates with, it was specific. Collectively, like for the rest of the group or for all of the group, I kind of feel like you're overcoming this fighting, and it can be fighting with yourself even, and realizing, being able to come together with people, in acceptance of who you are, and celebrate who you are, or what you are, or whatever it is. Like, there's so many different ways that this could play out, and being that it's a collective reading, it's hard to put one thing in to this. So yeah. Anyway, let's see. Midweek reading, midweek messages. Reading. Been at this a bit too long, haven't I? Okay, so midweek messages for group 1, please. Any messages for group 1? Mid. There we go. Couple coming up. Alright, so we have strength and we have the King of Swords. So, yeah, I feel like for most of you, this is the message that my guides are giving me now and the energy is giving me now. It's sort of like something that you're nervous about, but you're going to find out that it wasn't really, worth being nervous about anyway, because you're accepted and supported and loved by, your current group of people or, your family, even though you might have been a bit worried about it or it felt like you weren't. But I also feel like you, with the strength card coming up, this energy of kind of like taming the ego a little bit, the ego is not like a bad thing necessarily. It's just a thing that it's meant to be the slave to your higher self, not a slave, but it's meant to work together with your higher self and with your heart. It's not meant to be the one that runs the show, right? So sometimes when the ego gets a bit out of control, and it can be in a way where, like when you are having anxiety thoughts about something, and I'm feeling this as well with this group, that these things are something that you worry about a lot, but a lot of the time it's actually something to do with what's going on in your own mind. It's your own humanness, it's your own ego that's bringing these things up, because that's what it does. It tries to protect you. So if there's something going on where it doesn't feel safe, where it feels threatened, it will come up with these thoughts and worries and, like old situations and things like that, to try and protect you, to try and get you to come back out of that situation so that you don't get hurt or rejected or whatever, I feel like with the strength card coming up, you are starting to overcome this. You're starting to realize that a lot of the things that you're thinking about, a lot of the things that are coming up for you, that they're well-meaning thoughts, but they're actually, keeping you from connecting with people and stuff like that. That's important, that would be really good for you. But you can't, while your ego's talking to you and making you feel like you need to run away and hide, right? So I feel like you're sort of overcoming that energy and becoming more strong. You're connecting with that strength, that inner strength, and understanding that a lot of the stuff that goes on in your head isn't what it's not the truth, basically. And that's kind of like the King of Swords energy coming up as well. King of Swords is someone who's like got a hold of their emotional stuff and their coldness, their ability to be detached, and it's very balanced. It's neither. Like they don't, when they react, when they think about things logically. They don't let their emotions kind of get in the way. They don't let their emotions take over, but they also don't, react from a place where they're just completely detached and have absolutely no sort of emotional responsibility either. So this is a really good sort of energy that's coming in for you guys. It's like finding balance with whatever this is, this situation that I keep picking up on. Anything else coming through here with these cards? No, I don't think so. I think we'll just pull some more cards and see what comes up for you guys. Group 1. Group 1. Come up for Group 1. More messages for Group 1, please. Ooh, here we go. She's come out in every reading I've done. So, finding the balance that you're going to find. Finding that, there are people who, or most people, are actually quite accepting of whatever it is that you feel isn't acceptable. And this could be anything, right? We are bombarded day and night from the minute we're born about what is and what isn't acceptable. And a lot of it is just absolute fucking bullshit, right? It's just shit we see on TV. It's programming. It's, I'm trying to think of the right word. it's this sort of like negative reinforcement that comes through mainstream media, and things like that, that make you think that certain things that we do, which are completely and inherently human, like being angry or something, are wrong, and you shouldn't do them. And it's absolute bullshit, because if you weren't supposed to be angry, or you weren't supposed to have this particular emotion, or you weren't supposed to cry, then you wouldn't be able to do it in the first place, right? It's just rubbish. But, you know, we take these beliefs on and they become part of us, and it's hard sometimes to shift them. But I feel like you guys are shifting through that and finding balance with that. And when you do find this balance, when you start to find this balance, you're going to start to cultivate this kind of energy where you're, you know, just playing with your own energy, seeing the light within you instead of where you once saw the dark within you. And just kind of not letting other people's opinions and outside noise bother you. I'm going to pull a couple more cards, but I have to be quick because my phone just told me, because when I'm recording on my phone, that it's running out of battery. So, okay. A few more messages for group 1. There's one. Alright. Woo! Far out. It's a good one. Okay. So here's 2 more cards for you, and this will be the end of the message. The Hanged Man. See, this card can be talking about feeling stuck. Pardon me. But I feel like in this case there's a different energy sort of coming through, and it's talking about how you can kind of achieve enlightenment. And when I say enlightenment, I just mean more awareness. I mean your mind opens up. I don't mean like you're Buddha and you sit on top of a hill and don't eat anything kind of enlightenment. I just mean that, you know, the lights get turned on in your mind, and your mind is able to open up and be more accepting of things that wouldn't necessarily normally be, you know, your norm, basically. So this, it's sort of saying to me, because she's kind of hanging upside down, right? It's like even the things that make you feel upside down, even the things that don't make sense, there's some sort of way of, sometimes that's the universe's way of making you see things from a different perspective, but also allowing you to like expand into new different things that you wouldn't expect. And having said that, this is kind of end of the week energy, so I feel like you're going to be experiencing this one actually came up in another reading as well, but this is this really magical energy. It is the energy of pigs might fly. So it's kind of like surprising positive energy, magic, things that you wouldn't expect happening, serendipity, all of that sort of stuff. And it kind of goes along with this card, the whimsy card that we had at the beginning, right? So I feel like while you're going to be going through a bit of stuff at the beginning of the week, I feel like you're going to be shifting it and coming back into balance, and then finding this like new expansive energy. And in that energy, you're going to be able to allow this kind of magical, unexpected flow of cool stuff. So that's the only way I can think of to put it, of love, of, you know, amazing things coming into your life that you wouldn't really expect. And yeah, I think that's probably enough of a message for you guys now. So if that resonated, give me a like. If you wanted a personal reading, you can message me on my Facebook page. I have a link in the description. And otherwise, I will see you on the next one. And thanks for watching. Hey guys, it's Alvi here. And if you chose the blue aura quartz and the card Nouveau Luminous, feeling, what did I say? Fully alive. It's got, the writing is absolutely tiny, so, and I need glasses, so I can't see it. But yeah, if you chose this one, this is pile 3, and this is your reading. So I'm going to pull the cards out and sort of have a look at them, and we'll get a view of your overview, like your overriding energy for this week, or underlying energy, depending on how it works. Sometimes it's underlying, sometimes it's overarching, I don't know. So the first card obviously is this one. Um, it says nouveau, replenish, luminous feelings fully alive. It's talking about the sacral chakra. So this is sort of speaking to me about a resurgence of, you know, you using your creativity and self-expression, sensuality, sexuality. Oh, pardon me. Or maybe, you know, working with your sacral chakra a little bit as well. Perhaps you might have a little bit of an imbalance there, or just maybe to focus on it. Do some, you know, sacral chakra meditations, or surround yourself with the color orange. Maybe have a look into what sort of emotions and things are related to that chakra. Oh wow, that's really weird. I had a dream last night and I was saying chakra. Chakra. I don't know why that reminded me of it. It's like, yeah, very strange. Sometimes these things happen. And they have a meaning for me later on. Okay, birthing pools is another thing that comes up on this one. And your portal to grace is omniscience? Omniscience? It's really hard to say. Omniscience. There's a little poem on the back of this card as well. So it says, submerged in the endless soul river, beauty broken by waves of the past, one may learn to breathe underwater or die holding on to sinking feelings. Let go, my love, allow the river to carry you, don't fight or resist. When the pull towards the cosmic ocean pauses, let stillness come. Taking solace in the light of the sweet moon, reflections soften and magnify. The river is the journey that must be travelled, come what may. Beware of desire, this river cannot be travelled twice the same way. One's journey is entirely unique to their starry map of destiny. Find pools of stillness where the river is birthed anew and replenish often. That's a very interesting message there. So I'm going to read the other cards and then we'll get the message, as I said. So I co-create with God and with life. It's one of your other cards here. It says life creates what is real. And I create a story about what is real. The story is how I qualify, justify, and explain what I perceive. My story is my creation and it's a masterpiece of art. So, definitely thinking about manifestation, if that's what you call it, or co creation, as this card sort of mentions, and what other people call it as well. So, we also have feeling safe. And then we have, what did we have? The wishing well, unexpected gifts, kindness, and karmic jewels. And what else have we got? Stagnant waters, feeling stuck, a call for shifts, flow, and change. Okay, interesting. So this card really is just giving me, this card is giving me this energy of, it's sort of like, you know, letting go of the past. There's this feeling that there's things from the past that, you know, have slowed you down and maybe made you kind of feel drained. Maybe you've lost your connection to self in a way, or to, you know, a way that you used to express yourself and now you just don't for whatever reasons. So what it's sort of saying is like remembering how to feel fully alive, remembering how to really enjoy things, and just let go and go with the flow. It's really strange because this is the same sort of message that came through with group 2. But yeah, so like it's just kind of this letting go. There must be a collective thing of surrendering, letting go, remembering how to go with the flow and not, you know, trying to force things or anything like that, but just letting things happen organically and remembering that you are safe. Especially from things that happened in the past. The past is gone, so you can let go of it now and let it stop holding you back. with this card here coming up as well, this is sort of it's speaking about how you can recreate or create your own reality based on what you think and how you feel, and what you believe, right? So it's talking about recreating something. I feel like for you guys, I'm not sure if it was a recent past thing or it was a past thing, but I feel like there was a big, and possibly it's still affecting some of you. There was something that happened that has really kind of stopped you in your tracks. You're not flowing. You're not moving with things. You're kind of stuck, and you kind of maybe like reliving trauma, or you were reliving trauma. And when you're doing that, you're not focusing on what you're creating. You're focusing on surviving. And I feel like for you guys, this is shifting, right? They're asking you to shift. They're asking you to remember that you're safe, and to remember that you are, you're able to recreate. You're able to create new things. You're able to create a life that you do love. If you're in a life that you don't love, you don't have to stay stuck. Because you have the co-creative power within you. You're connected to source, you're connected to God, you're connected to the universe, or whatever you want to call it. So it's all about perception as well. That's what I'm getting here. So this is a perception thing. It's choosing the thoughts that you think, and choosing the way that you react to things, and choosing the ideas and beliefs that you have around certain things, and letting go of things that don't work for you. So yeah, with this card coming up, obviously it says, if you can see it, stagnant waters. So feeling stuck, a call for shift, flow, and change. And then we have the wishing well, unexpected gifts, kindness, and karmic jewels. I feel like this week, this stuckness is going to start shifting for you. Whatever it is that you're feeling stuck about, you'll find that people are, bringing kindness and understanding more into your experience. Or maybe, and as well, maybe you are starting to be able to see things in a different light, so that you can become unstuck. Sometimes things that we work through, that we heal through, that just stop life from happening for you the way you want it to, can make you have a certain feeling, but you can feel like you're stuck in that healing cycle for a long time, and it just never ends, and it's all painful, and it's all hard and heavy lifting and stuff like that. But I think when you come out the other side, you really realize that some of it wasn't as bad. I mean, it was bad, right? I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to deny your experience or your pain or anything like that, but what I'm saying is that sometimes when you have these experiences, you come out the other side better for it, in a way, because you've had certain experiences and it's made you grow. And I feel like this is a situation like that, like feeling stagnant because you're afraid to move ahead now, but you're going to come to this point where you can move ahead and you're okay. I'm going to have a look at the next messages from the tarot cards now, and we'll see what's coming up for you for the next 7 days. There's a few cards already. Everything's falling out at me. So we have the Nine of Wands. Then we have the Five of Cups. And then we have the Six of Cups. So I feel like the message that like my guides want me to give you right now is that whatever it was that happened in the past, it's in the past and you are safe. Like, you can let go of it now, even though it might have been incredibly painful at the time. I feel like with this card coming up, the Nine of Wands, the Nine of Wands is in reverse. For me, this always sort of makes me feel like, there was boundaries, maybe you didn't know how to hold boundaries. Maybe you let your boundaries down, or people just pushed beyond your boundaries. Um, a word violation came to my mind. Interesting. Yeah, so I feel like my guides are saying it's safe to let it go. So we've got the Five of Cups, right? This is letting go of the love or the connection or the relationship or the situation. And it can feel quite sad, and it can, bring up feelings of anxiety or sadness or pain and all of that sort of stuff. But I feel like you're letting it go now, like it's leaving you with this. So it's time to change your focus and not focus on what you've had to let go or what you feel like you're losing. My guides nearly said what you're losing. My guides nearly made me say what you're losing, but what you feel like you are losing, you've still got this, right? There's this big cup of love behind you. So they're saying it's safe to let go. Is they're saying that when you are detached, when you release things instead of trying to hold on to things that are causing you pain, that inevitably, like, you will feel better, you'll feel lighter, you won't feel as heavy or as stuck or anything like that, like, because you're able to actually let go of this energy that's not really meant to be part of you. But as humans, we want to hold on to things for longer than maybe that we should. So with the Six of Cups coming up as well, I feel like this is sort of reminiscing in the past. Maybe there's something from the past that makes you feel comforted, that makes you feel safe. But I also got, just coming up then, like, things come back around. They might come back around with different people in different situations, but this is a good energy of something good coming back around, right? Or people from your past coming to support you, coming to help you, or maybe just, coming to hang out with you. Let me just have a look. There's also this sort of like resurgence of innocence that's coming through with the Six of Cups as well. So once you're able to let go of whatever it is you're holding on to, I feel like you'll be able to kind of allow yourself to be a little bit more vulnerable. When you're holding on to something that's very, very painful, you kind of close up, When it really hurts, your energy is closed, so you aren't able to be receptive to things that would be really good for you. So this is like, I feel like this is yeah, they're just asking you to remember that, like, it's not always as bad as it feels or as felt, and being able to let go and just sort of, remember who you are without whatever this situation was or who you were before it. Will It'll just do wonders for how you feel. And having that open energy means that good things will be coming for you as well. So let's have a look at more messages for you guys. Can I get more messages for group 3, please? They wanted me to have half the deck. I think not. That's a few too many. Sorry. Excuse my bending over. Oh god, I'm dropping them everywhere. One of these days, I won't drop them. I'm just going to shuffle again because that's far too many for a coherent message. Let's just put it that way. Too many cards on the floor, too many cards flying out everywhere. Alright, so can I get more for group 3, please? I'm getting this feeling, this sigh, like this energy is coming through. It's like, finally I'm relaxed, finally I can breathe. Like that sigh that I just did then, that was a clairsentient kind of energy message. And as I've started reading through this, I've gone from feeling very tense and stressed out to feeling really relieved and relaxed about whatever, because I'm obviously picking up on, someone's energy or the group's energy here. So as we head towards the midweek, let's have a look what's coming up for group 3, please. Nearly did it again. Oh no, I'm a shocker. Here we go. Dear me. Group 3's messages, please. Alright, here comes one. Alright, strength. We've got justice and strength. We've got the High Priestess. 2 of Swords in reverse. And let's just shuffle some more. And again, she drops. Oh, can I get those, please? Thank you. I wonder I've got any cards left in the deck, the amount that I dropped. So what I'll do, I think, is I will read these cards that have come up for your midweek. So we have the Strength card, we have the Justice card, we have the High Priestess, and we have the 2 of Swords in reverse. So there's definitely a letting go of some kind of anxiety or worry. And as I was pulling out the Justice and the Strength card, I felt like for some of you that this might be a legal situation or a court case or something that's been sort of dragging on for a while, that you were, you know, you want it to be over, but it's not actually your choice for it to be in your sphere, but you've got to deal with it because, you know, you need to. Basically, you don't have a choice. It's like the powers that be have kind of kept it going for you for a long time, and it's been very painful and very stressful for you. So that is a message for, well, I guess it could be a message for all of you really, for the collective, but specifically about the legal situation or court case or something that you had coming up, or maybe it's this week. I feel like justice has come up in the upright position, not the right position, in the upright position. So it's not reversed. It's like justice is gonna be served this week. And right now, I think that you are hanging on, you know, using your strength to hang on. I heard hanging on by a thread, but you've got this connection, you know, with yourself and with Source, and you do have support. I feel like this is people from the past who support you, so maybe you'll find out that there were people who were always, you know, kind of barracking for you, people who are always on your side. I feel like this might come out this week as well. So yeah, sinking into the strength of yourself. I'm getting strongly that there's something to do with a Leo as well with this card coming up. Like, you can see her face, the lion, and that doesn't normally jump out to me. So something to do with a lion or a Leo, but also being able to control yourself in a very loving way, because if you're a lion and there's a little lamb like sitting underneath you, you know, lions probably eat lambs. Horrible to say, but this is like letting the lamb feel safe. So it's also talking about the struggle between ego and, you know, inner child, or ego and some part of you that sits within you, you know, your inner self, your inner innocence, innocent self. I'm getting inner child though, so it's sort of like, while you might feel like you're hanging on by a thread, you're actually doing really well at managing what you're managing, and you know, you've got this, whatever this is. Things are going to come up, like justice wise, in your favor. You're going to get things are going to, you know, justice will be served, and it's going to be in your favor, because I feel like you were not you weren't treated fairly in this particular situation either. And it feels like it's just been kind of keeping you stuck, and it keeps coming around, perhaps. I mean, it really depends on how it plays out for you, or has played out for you in your life. It could be a relationship, it could be a divorce, it could be a business issue, it could be something where, you know, you had to take someone to court because they didn't pay you, or something like that, and it's just dragged on and on and on, and it's been stressful, and it's just kind of, pulled you down a lot and kept you stuck a lot. But I feel like it's going to free up this week. You could be able to let go of it. You'll be able to kind of see into the future more, whereas before you couldn't. So whatever's kept you grounded is releasing, and justice is coming in. And I feel like with that, you will have more sort of connection. High Priestess speaks about like feminine energy, so flow, but also being able to connect into your spiritual self and that trust in the divine or your higher self or source, or however you would like to, think about it. That connection is going to come back up for you, because I feel like what's going to happen this week is going to confirm to you that your intuition was always right. It's just that sometimes there's like a delay, because the real world, is so dense in the third dimension that it takes things a long time to kind of, get through that density. Whereas in the energy world, you can know something that's going to happen, in 2 years. You're still right about it. So this is this confirmation that you were right all along, right? And I feel like knowing that you weren't imagining it or you making it up, that your intuition was really right and spot on the entire time, is going to give you this new lease of life, and you won't be worried anymore. You won't be bothered by anxiety so much, because it's going to affirm to you, or it's just going to make you feel like you've got that safety. I've completely forgotten that this card was part of the overlying energy, but yeah, it's going to give you that feeling of safety that you get when you're connected to something bigger, whether it be community or to your higher self or to source, or when you realize, we're part of unity consciousness. We're not part of this single thing. So this is really good energy. I feel like you're going to kind of come back into your own, step back into yourself, and remember how to trust and how to use your intuition and to trust it and feel like you know what's going on, instead of having to rely on other people, perhaps. Or we're going to have a look at a few more cards. Can I get more cards for group 3, please? Oh! For whatever reason, with this group 3, I've dropped so many cards. We're going to take that one. So 8 of Wands. This is fast moving energy, fast decisions, making decisions. This also speaks about communication. So this is the element of fire again. So it could be like online communication, it could be emails, it could be snail mail, it could be phone calls, it could be talking to other people, connecting with other people. But I feel like this is messages coming through. And with the High Priestess, it could also be like divine downloads and intuitive messages that are going to lead you into the the releasing and the feeling safe and the letting go of the past. Wow, my throat's getting really funny, and I'm like, my voice is kind of shaky as I'm saying this. So I feel like this is, how can I explain it? It's sort of like, it's like something you used to do but you forgot about it, and it's when you do it, it's like you feel a little nervous and it makes your voice shake a little bit. Like this communication makes your voice shake a little bit, but it's positive. It's not going to be something that that you need to worry about, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so more messages, please. All right, so we have the Queen of Wands comes up as well. So regaining this passion and this interest in life, this light, your inner light, regaining your inner light. The Queen of Wands is like so entranced. Look at her face. She's so entranced. She's so happy. She doesn't care what's going on around her specifically, because she's so busy looking at her own light and developing her own light and creating with that light, that she's not worried about what's going on anymore. So as I'm saying that, I'm also getting this message coming through that, like, for you guys, and for some of you guys specifically, or for some of you people who are watching this, this is talking about detachment. Like, you'll finally get to that point where you're detached from whatever it was in the past, and you will remember by doing that, it's like your energy is not getting sucked back into it. Because when you're not detached, when you're attached to something, and when you constantly kind of feeding it because of your anxiety, because you're trying to get rid of it maybe, or just because it's like it's still an attachment to whatever it was, it still bothers you, you dream about it, you think about it, it's constantly in, you know, in your subconscious or in your mind. It takes all your energy, so you can't create, you can't be this Queen of Wands. um so yeah, you'll be shifting from that attachment, from that basically being drained by this situation that's coming through, into this, into this. So, you know, fully owning your power, and loving it, living in it. I'm just trying to work out where the other card went. Yeah, I'll have to find it later. I'm not meant to use it. All right, and one more, please. One more card or two for the last message for group 3 for this week. This is sort of coming up to the end of the weekend. What have we got? We've got the King of Pentacles. Pools. I don't know why I said it like that. The King of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles. Okay. And the Devil. I don't know. I think the Devil's pretty hot, personally. I take his offer. That's terrible. I shouldn't say that. Anyway, so you've got the King of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. This is coming up towards the end of the week. And as I picked these up and said that, my guides are saying, for the people who are waiting on a court case or something along those lines, like a legal thing, I feel like you might be getting news, communication about, you know, receiving money, receiving payment for something. But I feel also there's a little bit of kind of juggling, trying to fit things in, finding balance, because of this, you know, it's like a huge shift. I can feel it. It's like from one extreme to the other, and it's just you'll be finding your balance a little bit as well. But I feel like it's not a bad thing. I feel like it's like a very positive thing. It's just, you know, when things aren't the same, there's a little bit of a period of adjustment that you need to have to kind of get yourself to get your conscious mind to go, oh yeah, that's right, it's not like it used to be, it's changed now. So yeah, there's going to be this little bit of juggling, but I feel like for many of you that this is speaking about money or a payment or some kind of abundance or structure, or I'm trying to think of the right way to put it. The King of Pentacles, right? He's like on top of his money. He's on top of what's going on in the world. Like, it's a structure, strategy, building things in the world. But this is someone who's already done all that, and he's sitting there, you know, he's got all these pentacles around him. He's got whatever it is, whether it's, you know, a family structure, a house, a building, a business, that kind of thing. Or even just, you know, like having enough money, basically. That's coming through as well. So I feel like this energy towards the end of the week, you'll feel accomplished. You'll feel like you've kind of, all of that shit that you've gone through was worth it, because maybe not worth it, but you know what I mean. You've finally got to the end of this. You're shutting it off, but then you've got to find balance in this new reality that you're kind of stepping into. So amazing energy. And now, yeah, then we've got the Devil. So the Devil is, what's the Devil telling me today? The Devil can talk about addiction. The Devil can talk about, you know, temptation as well. I'm just trying to work out. I think this is still just talking about before, right? This is talking about like not stepping back into this energy of being the puppet of something else or someone else, right? Because when you're so used to something being a certain way, it's easy just to slip back into it. So it's kind of like a warning to you guys, don't be tempted to fall back into your old ways when you got to this point where you're like stepping back into yourself and feeling like you're really accomplished and like you've gotten to a certain level. Um, I think that's probably enough of a message for you guys, and I hope that this resonated. If it did, and you would like a more personalized version of a reading like this, you can always message me on Facebook or even on here if you want to, or Instagram. All my links are on my channel, and they'll probably be in the description as well. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I hopefully will see you next time. Thank you. Hey everyone, it's Alvi here. Sorry about that. I just needed to change the music. It just didn't feel right. So we've gone for something a bit more chill. Anyway, so if this is if you chose the pink aura quartz, or what if I exit, or you chose with this card. So this is pile 2, by the way. What if I exist for optimism is divine timing optimism. This is the card, and this is the crystal, so pink aura quartz. Then this is your reading. So facing the sun, solar plexus chakra, Manipura. Surrender is divine timing optimism is the question. I think this is like meant to be sort of a journal prompt, or a prompt for you to consider things to contemplate maybe. The card says let us release any fear or judgment and all imaginary wrongs. Let us embrace optimism as we each create new individuated paths ahead. Let us contemplate how we can surrender more to our mystical selves. Let us embrace and embody the mystical aspects of the true self day by day. Let us understand that another cannot be the embodiment of our truth. Let us understand, oh hang on, I read that bit. Let us find the optimism to be as we truly are, knowing our unique design is incredibly purposeful and invaluable to the whole. The dragonfly dreams in all 9 directions. So this is a portal to grace, the universal love. It's speaking about how what you are, whether you think this or not, is intrinsic to like the whole what's the word the whole experience. So without you, the whole web of life is not quite right. So it's also talking about divine timing. It's talking about being optimistic. I'm going to pull and show you the other cards from the pile, and then we'll get a message, which is sort of like the overlying or underlying energy for the week. Yeah, that's right. I'm giving up for trying to say 7 days because it's just, I always get tongue-tied on it. So I'm surrendering, right? So this is the energy of surrendering to divine love or source or whatever you would like to call it as well. So this is a strong message that's coming through already. It's just remembering how to let go. Sometimes you can't control everything. Sometimes it's better if you don't, because things come full circle. My guides are saying full circle. Things come full circle when you don't try to control them, but you allow them to organically just come when they're meant to, happen when they're meant to. So our emotions are real. The voice of knowledge makes us, the voice that makes us suffer is not. Okay, so our suffering is true, but the reason why we suffer may not be true at all. That's an interesting card too. This is kind of talking about how we make more suffering for ourselves, because we always have the power to choose how we react to things, how we can change the way that we think about things. We can like reframe things. We can use techniques and tools like EFT tapping and working with the subconscious and doing shamanic clearing and things like that, to shift our beliefs and our thoughts and our ideas and the way that we approach things. And in doing that, we can change. We don't have to suffer. It says our emotions are real. The voice of knowledge that makes us suffer is not. So knowledge versus wisdom is what I'm getting here. it's like talking about unfounded anxieties, those things that come up. You know, those are. I was speaking to a friend of mine. I was actually doing a reading for her, and I was saying to her, what my guides always say to me is, if there's a thought and it's worrying you, and it came from a place of what if, or if such and such, then it's probably bullshit. It's just, well, not bullshit so much, but it's something, it's a thought that you don't have to believe. You can choose not to believe the thoughts that you have, believe it or not. Um, you know, like, not everything that you think is the truth. And when you don't know that, or you are believing things that aren't the truth and they're making you suffer, it's time to do a little bit of shifting and a little bit of work around that. So I feel like that will be coming up for you this week. Perhaps some thoughts, some situations being triggered, or just having things come up for you where you are not sure if it's like intuition or if you're making it up, or it's not. It sounds like the voice of wisdom, but it's actually the voice of knowledge. And there's a difference between knowledge. Knowledge is learnt. Wisdom is something that's innate within us. So letting go, next card coming up. And that is interesting. Yeah, so letting go of those thoughts. And the sweet waters, sensuality, romance, enjoyment, fertility, and balance. Beautiful card. Okay, so really the message that's coming through here for you guys is staying hopeful, staying optimistic, staying open-minded as well. What this really says to me is, like it says on the back of the card, the dragonfly can see in all 9 directions, but I'm seeing this lotus, and you see how there's so many petals on the lotus. For me, that is just speaking to me about how there's so many different ways that things can happen, and so many infinite possibilities, that if we just close our minds to and only focus on this one path, this one trail, this one belief that we have about something, we're kind of limiting ourselves to just that thing. Whereas if you can stay open, then things happen in different ways. As I said before, things can come to you more organically if you're willing to be open and entertain, even just entertain different thoughts, different ways, different ideas, and see things from different perspectives. Sorry about the bumping. So is divine timing optimism? Good question. This, yeah, as I said, it's talking about surrendering to perhaps, just surrendering to the, how am I trying to, I'm trying to think of the right word, surrendering to the flow of the universe, remembering that not everything that you think or everything that comes up for you in certain situations is true. Sometimes it might have been true in the past, but it's not true of the situation that you're in currently. And you have to sit back and analyze and think about exactly what it is that what you're thinking, what sort of thoughts you're entertaining. How are they affecting your body? Are they something that's coming from a previous experience, which this is reminding your inner child or another wounded part of you of, or is it, you know, your intuition warning you about something? I feel with this card coming up, our emotions are real. The voice of knowledge that makes us suffer is not. It's really saying, be vigilant, be open-minded, and be vigilant to the thoughts that come up, the anxieties that might come up. So my guide is saying, yes, they might be experiencing anxiety due to a particular situation. What else is coming through here? Or they're trying to tell me something's coming through. So our emotions are real. The voice of knowledge that makes us suffer is not. Yeah, so I feel like you may be having anxiety, which is surrounding a particular situation. And this situation is like, when's it gonna happen? This is the kind of energy I'm getting. It's sort of like there's something that you want to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. And you might be losing hope because it just doesn't look like it's gonna. But what they're saying to you is to keep open, be open-minded as to how this can happen. Be open-minded as just, surrender to how it is now, because when you make peace with how it is now, you allow other possibilities to just, come into your experience. When you try to control things and make things happen exactly as your ego wants it to happen, then you don't really let the universe do the job that it can do and bring you the magic that it can bring you. And the as I'm saying, surrender and letting go, like we've got two cards here that are basically just talking about letting go of something. And this doesn't mean letting go of a person or a situation. It means letting go of the way that you're thinking about it, of the way, or maybe some like unrealistic expectations, or trying to control things, as I like to say about don't micromanage the universe, let it happen the way it's meant to happen. Because when you do that, you're actually able to enjoy the sweet waters of life and feel all this beautiful energy that's coming through. Whereas if you are anxious and focused on trying to control things and have things exactly how your ego or your humanness or your conditioning has you believing it's meant to be, then your energy is all focused on that, and you miss out on a lot of feeling like, this is flow, this is relaxed energy, this is letting things just happen and enjoying the things that do happen. So sensuality, romance, enjoyment, fertility, balance. And this is something that's coming up for you at the end of the week. So the more that you can surrender, the more enjoyment you're going to get out of it. I do feel like this is maybe about, for some of you at least, a relationship or a connection. It could just be about your general situation in life. I'm going to pull some cards now and see what that is. When I say cards, I mean tarot cards. I need a sip of my coffee. That's better. I needed something. I didn't think water would do it. Your heartache, love, the good things. Yes, no, this isn't my normal music that I have on in the background. This is like neo soul, I think they call it. Soft romantic music, which is cute, and it's kind of like this song really kind of matches up with what's going on in this energy so far. It's sort of like being able to focus on the beauty. The lyric is I can show you that love will cure your heartache. So I got a huge shiver there when I said that. That's crazy. All right, so yeah, so love can cure your heartache. It just depends on how you're looking at it. If you're fearing love, if you're letting things, the fear of being hurt or the fear of being rejected, or things like that come up, and they do come up in relationships, and they do come up in life. If you're letting those things color your experience, rather than just letting go and trusting that things are going to happen the way that they're meant to, and just bringing universal love, source energy into your life, and sort of falling back on that to cure your heartache. Yeah, I can't. I kind of lost the thread of what I was talking about, but hopefully you guys know what I mean. Focusing on the love that's all around you if you feel unstable or worried. Anyway, let's have a look and see what tarot cards are coming up for you for the next week. Let's see what sort of energy is coming up. All right, so I feel the Four of Swords, but it's reversed. So that means that the energy is reversed. It means that, which doesn't necessarily mean it's the complete opposite of what that card would normally mean. It just means something else. We'll have a look. We'll see what comes up. All right, the Page of Cups. I love this card, and it keeps coming up in readings recently, which is amazing because it's such good energy. It's the Pigs Might Fly card, right? It talks about, it talks about this kind of magical energy, and it matches up with this sort of like divine timing optimism thing. It's like things that you just wouldn't believe or couldn't have believed would happen might happen in this energy. It's kind of, yeah, that kind of energy. And the Queen of Wands. So that's the beginning of the week. So I see the Four of Swords is about resting. I'll show you the card again. So yeah, sitting in this energy of rest. But I feel it's kind of like with the energy coming through, it's a little bit like you're isolating out of fear. It's not like you're isolating because you need to rest. You're resting because you're scared. You don't want to step out of your comfort zone, perhaps. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just really drawn to this. It sort of feels a bit like, you feel a bit battered, you feel a bit worn, and you're not really sure. But there's love there. There's yeah, there's just this energy of kind of retreating a bit too much, I think, is what's coming through here. Because you feel, you've had obviously things happen in the past that are kind of colouring your now experience. But I feel like you will come out of that energy and into this, because something's going to come and surprise you. That's basically what's going to happen. Something's going to come and surprise you. Something that you didn't really expect. And it's going to give you this new lease on life. It's, yeah, as I said, it's like this energy of like the pigs might fly, and then you see a pig flying past. It's also like heels over head instead of head over heels. So it's sort of like there's love, there's like this, that giddy feeling, but it's a grounded giddy feeling. It's like his feet are up above his head, which is weird, so it means that it's grounded, but it's also, if you can see there, you've got like the little heart. Ooh, get it right. You've got this little, the two hands joining together to make a heart. So yeah, this is definitely sort of talking about a relationship or relationships, and that is actually something that's coming up in the collective at the moment. People are working through past toxic relationships, and things that those kind of relationships have left you with. Not necessarily even toxic relationships, but just past hurts through love, past hurts through relating to people. This is all coming up at the moment, and yeah, I'm just getting that a lot of people I'm talking to are working through a lot of this stuff, and it's sort of about balancing things out collectively. So yep, they've changed my it's like blank. All right, next subject. Okay, so the Queen of Wands as well has come up here. So feeling this energy of like this unexpected positive event that's going to happen for you. This unexpected, it might just be energy coming in, it might be like a surprise visit or phone call, or something like that. Just something that's going to kind of renew your passion and your interest in life, so you're not feeling like this so much. You're not feeling like you want to retreat. You sort of feel you remember that there's magic in the world again, instead of feeling like you want to hide away from whatever's going on. So the Queen of Wands, bringing this energy in as well, which is like just happy in your own light, work in your own light. Look at this woman, she's happy, she looks so joyful, and she's just watching this magic that's in her hand, surrounded by lights as well. I kind of feel like there's a lot of magic coming into your life this week. And sometimes when that happens, it can be a bit destabilizing as well, because when you get good stuff coming up, you start to worry. If you're used to having bad things happen, you start to worry that, like, well, is this going to stay? Is this going to go? Am I safe with this? And then you start having things come up, your worries, your anxiety, what I was talking about before. So let's have a look at the midweek. We'll see what card's coming up for that. Let me get message for group 2. Alright, 6 of Wands. So, oh, hang on, I've got 2 cards there. So we've got 6 of Wands. And we have the World. Oh, wow. This is amazing, guys. Such good energy coming through. It's sort of like the 6 of Wands and the World are saying, like, it's talking about, like, being recognized, right? Being recognized for something that you've done that is really good. Something that's, you know, it's not just you're not just getting self-gratification here. Other people are noticing the things that you're doing that are, you know, maybe this kind of magic, this this working your light, this working light, this interesting. Yeah. And then the world is sort of like completion. So it's like it's something that you have been working on. Perhaps it's, as I said in the beginning, you know, there's some situation that you've been hoping that would come to fruition, or maybe just losing hope on it, which is why we've got this card that's come up that says, I exist for what if I exist for optimism. It's kind of like saying to you, what if instead of seeing all the ways that things might not happen and might not work and putting all that stuff into it, or having to have that very rigid it has to happen this way kind of thought, what if you just were optimistic about things? And there's, like, with these kind of cards coming up, I feel like it's something that you have been working on, like coming out of these thoughts of the what ifs, the bullshit. Right? So, and people, other people are going to be recognizing this within you, and it's kind of like it's also closing a cycle for you. It's completing the cycle of working through healing, letting go, remembering how to surrender and just go with the flow, and be more open to, you know, spontaneous magic, as we have here, spontaneous magic, and like being more open to things that you just wouldn't expect, because if you're open to it, then it's much more likely to happen for you. So let's have a look towards the end of the week. We'll have a look here. Oh, okay. So I've got 2 swords cards coming up about anxiety, right? So one is, this is releasing the pain of the past, and this one is releasing the anxieties of the past. So that's a very interesting thing to come up. When you've completed this cycle, when people start to, you know, when it's not just you who's recognizing it in you, but because you've been working with yourself, with your light, and it might have looked to other people that you were like kind of retreating, that you were hiding away, but what you were really doing was, you know, going through a healing process. So when this completion energy comes in the middle of the week, after that, all of these things that have been bothering you, I feel like they're kind of just going to drop away quite a lot. Your fears perhaps about this situation, whatever it is, it could be a relationship. I'm picking up relationship vibes here, but it could be anything, you know, and it just depends on how it sits in your life. Okay, let's have a look. More cards, please. I hate it when I drop the cards. More cards, please. More cards, please. More cards, please. I don't know why I'm singing. Let's keep going. Get some more messages here. Messages for group 2. There we go. Okay. A lot of cards coming up reversed. Unless I've got the deck upside down, of course. I'm just sort of reading into this. So I see there's this, like, this card often represents independence, and it talks about wanting to be financially independent specifically, you know, like building your financial independence, but it can also just talk about, you know, you being independent as a person, not needing other people. I feel that in reverse, it's talking about you recognizing that not needing other people is maybe just a bit of a trauma response that you could let other people in. Maybe not all people, but some people. You know, there are people in the world that you can trust, and I feel like this is the energy that's going to come through as well. It's sort of like letting go of the fear of letting other people in, of being able to trust other people. And obviously, you need to be discerning about who that is and how that works. But I feel like you'll know, you know, your intuition's going to tell you um, who and what you should let in and what you shouldn't let in, I guess. Oh, pardon me. Oh, wow. Sometimes channeling makes me yawn. Okay, so let's have a look here. We have the Knight of Cups and the Nine of Cups. I really feel like with these reversed energies, this is sort of talking about past situations again that have made you kind of retreat. Because we also got the Hermit here as well. It's quite a lot of cards here. So yeah, so I feel like it was like something that kind of almost came to fruition, but then it didn't, and now it's kind of, well, it had made you retreat, and you've had to work through things and remember your own light and all of that sort of stuff. And because you are actually working through your light, you're bringing this magic into your world. You're bringing this, you know, like this is fame, fortune kind of feeling. It doesn't have to be like you're on stage or anything like that, but it could just be that, you know, as I said, people are recognizing that you are not the same person as you used to be. And that might actually be why there's this warning coming in about, you know, who you let in, who you don't. Because you might have, and I just really feel it with these two cards, you know, being very guarded about who you were letting in. But what I'm actually getting right now for you guys is that you are realizing that there's people in the world that you can actually be close to, that you can trust it, and that sort of thing. But also, you know, that you need to have a little bit of discernment about it as well. And because you've been in your own energy, you can pick that much more easily. So when you're like working your light, when you're being the Queen of Wands, well, Wands is all about passion and, you know, creativity, sensuality. It's the element of fire, so everything that's kind of connected to the element of fire. Communication, things like that as well. So when you are in that Queen of Wands energy, you're someone who's basically kind of mastered not letting passion overtake you, but using it to create. So you've been using this energy to create the new you, the new world that you want to live in. And now you get to choose who it is that you want to let in. All right, I'm getting a message coming through. What do you think here? So, yeah, I feel like there's a lot that maybe per, you know, beginning of the week, there's a lot of stuff that's going to come up for you surrounding all of this stuff that you're letting go, but it won't be something that you have to spend a lot of time healing and working through. It's sort of more like, I can just observe that now because I'm no longer troubled by it or triggered by it. I've worked through it and I've healed myself or loved myself back to wholeness in this regard. So now when it comes up, I'm just like, well, okay, that's nice, thank you, I'll take that on board, sort of thing. That's the energy I'm getting. And because you are not reacting to it and you're not letting it take you down, and you're existing for optimism now and letting go and just surrendering, then you bring this special magic in. So that's a really nice reading, awesome energy. I can't wait to find out from you guys who do message me after you've seen these readings what kind of spontaneous and unexpected magic comes into your life, do let me know if something like that happens. Um, if this reading resonated with you and you would like to know more, more like a personal reading might be appropriate for you, so you can get deeper in, because this is just a collective reading, so you know some of the messages might be for you, some of them might not. You can always book with me through my Facebook page or message me. And yeah, other than that, I'll see you on the next reading. Thanks for watching.